Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'm going to be pruning up my Jade bonsai. I've kind of let it grow long and now it's time to prune it back to make it more compact. Here is a look at the tree. So over the winter I got a lot of growth, kind of long spindly growth, and then I brought the tree outside and it took a while to adjust to the sunlight, but now it looks good and healthy. There's lots of branches growing on it. So I want to prune all this new growth back, making the tree more compact. My first step before I begin pruning is to look at the tree and the structure and kind of see where I want to go with it. So this is the kind of central trunk coming up to a leader. It's looking good. A lot of these shoots are, very vertical. So I need to prune them back and get a little more spreading this tree. So I've got this lowest branch, which I like. I like all these multi-branches. It looks quite good, I think. There is a branch here that's growing parallel to the trunk line that doesn't look so good. So that's one branch I think could be pruned away. The rest I don't mind. I think they're looking fine. So I'll begin with that branch. I'm going to prune it back like that, or prune it off, not back. So that kind of clears up that jumbled area. And then this branch I think is fine. It's got some movement and taper to it, so I'll just prune it back, and you can see where the nodes are, where the leaves will come out. So I'll prune just above that and back here. So you can see that branch is a lot more compact now. The branch out the back, or the side here, it looks fine too. So again, here's one of the segments where the leaves will grow, so I'll prune just above that. And this one, again, making it quite short, like that. This branch out the side, I've got this branch crosses this branch. It's kind of like, can I do this? It's kind of in front of it, which isn't so nice. It comes up and it divides into two, so I'm wondering if I need this branch at all. I could keep this branch and remove the more vertical one, which might be a good idea because this branch has a bit of taper to it. So I think I'll do that. I think I'll remove the vertical one, like that, and then I'll prune this one back. And again, quite short. There's a segment here, so I'll prune it back to here. This back one, it's kind of, it comes up, it's been pruned here, and then the branches come out 90 degrees and then gone vertical. It's not the most graceful branch in the world. I think I'm going to prune it back to here, like that. And then I've got, my main trunk line comes up here, and I've got a strong trunk line at the back, which I don't mind. I think it looks good, but I do want to shorten it. So let me rotate it around. And I've got a little branch here, so I will prune this one off here, like that. This one, I've got a segment here, so I can prune it back to here, like that. Now let's go back to the front and prune the main trunk line. So I've got a branch here. It's kind of vertical, so I'll prune it back quite short, like that. And up here, the main trunk divides into two. I've got a branch off to this side. I'll prune this one off short. This one isn't too bad. It divides into two here. This one also divides into two, but it's getting very long without much taper or movement. So I'm going to take this one back. And then this one, again, it's not the worst branch in the world, but I would like it to fan out a little more, so I'm going to prune it back, taking off this vertical part, hoping to get some kind of new branches in this area. If it doesn't, if this were to die back, I still have 2 up here, so I'll take it off right here. Like that. So that's got the tree pruned up. It's a lot more compact, and once this growth comes in, all the new growth will be closer to the trunk line. It won't be these long spindly branches. So that's it for my jade. It's yeah, slowly getting there. And this was a cutting that I got from Jock in the KW Club many years ago. It's getting to be quite an old tree now. So I'll spin it around so you can get a close-up look at it. Here's the current front of the tree. And it could change, you know, as the tree develops. So I'll rotate it around so we're coming around to the right-hand side, to the back, to the left-hand side, and back to the front. Outside today it is raining, so free watering of all the trees that are on the benches. I don't mind that at all. Here's a look at what I pruned off today. So these grow quite easily from cuttings. You just stick them in soil, keep them dry for a while. When the leaves start getting a little wrinkly, you give them a bit of water, and they should root. I have enough trees, so I'm not going to root the cuttings, but there's a look at the jade now. Yeah, it's making progress. After pruning the jade back like this, it has no leaves on the tree, so it can't take up water. So you have to be careful to keep it on the dry side. Don't let it sit outside in the rain or it'll just rot the root system. So I'm going to keep it either in the greenhouse here or the poly house, protected from the rain. And you just keep it warm in good sunlight and it should regenerate new leaves and branches. I get a lot of people ask me if I have an azalea, and I do have one. I've had it for 3 or 4 years now. I got it from David at the Toronto Club. And today it's in flower and they're very, very beautiful. So it's just a small tree. I haven't repotted it. That's something I can do next spring, I think. Put it in a slightly larger pot and get it growing with a little more vigor. But it's nice having a little small one and seeing the flowers every spring. I have another jade to prune up today. My plan for this tree was to grow it like the dragon trees on Socotra Island. Developing the canopy into like a rounded umbrella canopy. It's not very close to that goal, so I'm going to prune it up today and hopefully it'll be a step in the right direction. Okay, so I want all my branches to fan outwards and kind of get a canopy on it. So I think somewhere about here maybe. I'm going to prune off this shoot that's kind of crossing back across the tree. That'll be step number 1. There's a couple of branches up here that are also kind of growing back in towards the tree. I'll remove those. There's one gone. Some old leaves from winter here. And I'll take this one off also. If I can get in here. There. So that one comes off. There's a stub here of a dead branch. I'm going to take that away. Like that. These are aerial roots. In the winter time, it's quite humid in the basement and they send out roots coming from the trunk. I'm going to prune those away. They're a little distracting looking. There's a dead branch here I can prune away. Some old leaves. That one pruned away. There's another one kind of crossing back here. I've got to prune away. It's not flowing outwards in a radial direction. These two branches aren't too bad. This one's okay. This one could get pruned back to here. This tall one up the middle can get pruned back to here. This one can get pruned off to here. And then these ones, I need to prune them back to kind of make my canopy a bit more rounded looking. Little spindly, some of these branches, like this one, but I'll just do a little cleanup here. Yeah, I think that's about all I can do. It's, you know, a step in the right direction. I'm not sure if I can achieve the goal, you know, of getting an umbrella canopy on this tree or not, but time will tell. I'll rotate the tree around for future reference. Not sure where the front is on it, but probably somewhere where I had it. Kind of about here, maybe. Yeah, so that's my dragon tree style jade. I'm going to finish up today with another succulent. I can't remember the scientific name for it, but they call it the copper spoon plant. It's something that sounds like cannoli, but it's not cannoli. So today, I did a prune here. That was the first prune I ever did on the plant. And you can see it divided from the trunk line into two branches. So today I want to prune it again and get more subdivision to eventually form a canopy. So, where to do it? I want the new branches to kind of fan outwards. There'd be one, there's a leaf fanning out up here, which makes, you know, quite a large internode. So I could prune it back to these ones, shortening it quite a bit. It's a tough call. Let me start up here. I'll prune it back here, like that. And this one, I have a leaf fanning out the back, so I'll prune it to here. And then, is that too tall? Should I take it back one more segment? I think I should. I think I should take it back one more segment. Even though the leaves aren't the perfect direction, but I think it's just too tall if I keep that. There's some kind of older leaves still attached here that I'm just going to cut away. Like that, just kind of reducing to the trunk line. These are older leaves. You can see after the pruning here, these branches emerged from the dormant buds at the base of each leaf. So these are older leaves. They could be pruned away, but in this case I'm going to keep them. They generate a bit of energy for the tree. Once these tops start growing, then I can prune these lower leaves away. So that's it. The trunk line is developing nicely. I'll show you the base of the plant. I pruned the roots in a radial pattern, and you can see it's starting to get a bit of flare at the base, which is always important to create that mature tree look. Yeah, and there's the cut points. You can see they're quite green. So again, I'll keep this plant on the dry side until those cuts kind of heal a bit. And we'll see how it does. This is a bit of an experiment. What inspired me to get this is a cutting off one I saw in a nursery which had an enormous trunk. The trunk was about 4 times the size of the diameter of this pot. It was absolutely huge, and it was a real specimen. It was quite fancy and really impressive. So I thought, well, I'll try and grow my own. And that's what I'm doing here. I'll keep you updated on the trees I pruned today in future videos. I'll let you know how they did after the fairly hard pruning. So that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.